Hello students, today we are going to learn about a JavaScript event. So what do you mean by a JavaScript? JavaScript is an object-oriented programming language. A programming language can be called object-oriented if it provides four basic capabilities to developers. First is encapsulation, the ability to store related information, whether data or methods, together in an object. Next is aggregation, the capability to store one object inside another object. Inheritance, the capability of a class to rely upon another class for some of its properties and methods. Next is polymorphism, the capability to write one function or method that works in a variety of different ways. JavaScript's interaction with HTML is handled through events that occur when the user or the browser manipulates a page. When the page loads, it is called an event. When the user clicks a button, that click too is an event. Other examples include events like pressing any key, closing a window, resizing a window, etc. Developers can use these events to execute JavaScript coded responses which cause buttons to close windows, messages to be displayed to users, data to be validated, and virtually any other type of response imaginable. Now, event handler and its descriptions are as follows. On blur, it occurs when user leaves field or loses focus on an element. On focus, it occurs when an element gets focus. On change, it occurs when user changes content of an element or select drop-down values. For example, text box, select box, etc. Now on submit, it occurs when user clicks submit button. On select, it occurs when user select some text of an element. On reset, it occurs when user click a reset button. On load, it occurs when page or an image has been uploaded. On unload, it occurs when a document or page has been unloaded or closes. JavaScript consists of a bunch of built-in objects. The following list explores most of them, although these built-ins have the appearance of being actual types or classes like in any other object-oriented programming. In JavaScript, these are only functions that can be used as a constructors to create objects of a particular subtype. String, number, boolean, object, function, an array, date, etc. String object. So what do you mean by a string? A string is a data type used in programming such as an integer and floating point unit, but is used to represent text rather than numbers. It is comprised of a set of characters that also contain spaces and numbers. String is used to store 0 or more characters of text within single or double quotes. Now Properties of string objects and its descriptions are as follows. Length returns the number of characters in a string. Index of it returns the index of the first occurrence of specified character in a given string. Last index of it returns the index of the last occurrence of a specified character in a given string. Trim. The trim method removes white space from both sides of a string. To lowercase converts a string to lowercase. To uppercase converts a string to uppercase. Substring, it returns the characters you specified. 7 and 14 returns all characters between the 7th and the 14th. The max object. The max object provides you properties and methods for mathematical constants and functions. Unlike other global objects, math is not a constructor. All the properties and methods of math are static and can be called by using math as an object without creating it. Methods and descriptions are as follows. Cell, it returns the next integer greater than or equal to a given number. Then cube root, it returns the cube root of a number. Then flow, it returns the next integer less than or equal to a given number. Then maximum xy returns the highest valued number in a list of numbers. Minimum xy, it returns the lowest valued number in a list of numbers. Square root, it returns the square root of a number. For cube root, it returns the cube root of a number. For C, that is CEIL, it returns the smallest integer greater than or equal to a number. Flow, it returns the largest integer less than or equal to a number. For max, it returns the largest of 0 or more numbers. For minimum, it returns the smallest of 0 or more numbers. For square root, it returns the square root of a number. For random, it returns a pseudo-random number between a 0 and 1.